He had one request. Not healing. He was 81 years old and he knew what 81 meant. He had watched enough men die to understand the difference between a body that was resting and a body that was finishing. His was finishing. He could feel it the way you feel weather coming, not the pain, not yet, but the pressure. The sense of something large and inevitable rearranging itself around you. He did not want to be healed. He wanted to see his son. His name was Eli. He had been a shepherd most of his life. 60 years of hills and wind and the particular silence of pre-dawn, when the stars are still out and the flock is still sleeping and the world hasn't started yet. He had loved that silence. He had talked to God in it, quietly, the way you talk to someone you have known so long that conversation no longer requires effort. He had a wife once. Rachel. Gone 12 years. He still reached for her in the night, sometimes the hand moving before the mind remembered and found cold sheets, and lay there in the dark until morning. He had 2 sons. Benjamin, the younger, still in the village, came every morning, sat beside Eli's bed, said little, stayed long. A good boy. A man now, 40 years old, with his mother's eyes and his father's hands. And Joash, the elder, gone 23 years. Joash had left on a Tuesday. Eli remembered it with the precision of a man who has turned a memory over so many times he has worn it smooth, the angle of the light, the smell of bread from the neighbor's house, the way Joash stood in the doorway with his pack already on his back and did not quite look at his father when he spoke. They had argued about money, officially, about inheritance, about fairness, about what Joash was owed and what he had taken and what Eli had said in the heat of it that could not be unsaid. But the money was never what it was about. What it was about, what Eli had known for 23 years and could not say out loud until now, in this bed, with the pressure of something large rearranging itself around him, was that Joash had wanted to be seen. Had been asking, in the way that proud men ask, sideways, never directly, for his father to say, "You are enough, you are good, I am proud of what you are." And Eli, who had been taught by his own father that praise made men soft, had withheld it. Again and again and again. Not from cruelty. From a misunderstanding that had calcified over years into something that felt like principle. And one Tuesday Joash had put on his pack and left. And Eli had told himself, for 23 years, that Joash would come back when he was ready. Joash had not come back. Benjamin found him, the rabbi. He came in one morning and said, "There is a man, people say things about him, I don't know what to believe, but you asked me to find someone and I found someone." And Eli looked at his younger son's face and saw the hope in it, careful and fragile, the hope of a man who has watched his father fail for 23 years and would very much like something to be fixed before there is no time left. "Bring him," Eli said. The rabbi came in the afternoon. He was younger than Eli expected. He came in quietly, without ceremony, sat down beside the bed the way Benjamin sat close, without performing the closeness. He looked at Eli with eyes that had the quality Eli associated with very old men, the quality of having seen enough that nothing surprises them anymore, and said nothing. Just waited. Eli appreciated that. He had no patience left for people who filled silence with words. "I am dying," Eli said. "Yes," the rabbi said. "I don't want healing." "I know." Eli looked at him. "Then you know what I want." "Tell me anyway," the rabbi said. "Say it out loud." Eli was quiet for a moment. Outside the window, a goat was making noise about something. The sound of the village going about its day, indifferent and continuous. "My son," Eli said. "Joash." He left 23 years ago and he stopped. The words were harder than he expected. He had rehearsed them in the dark for weeks and they were still harder. I said things. I didn't say things. Both. He looked at the ceiling. I need to tell him I'm sorry before I die. I need him to know. His voice went thin. He let it go thin. He was 81 years old and he was finished performing Strength. I need him to know that the fault was mine. Not his. Mine. And I need to ask him. He closed his eyes. I need to ask him if there is anything left to forgive. Silence. You don't know where he is, the rabbi said. No. He may not want to come. I know. He has had 23 years to come back and he hasn't. I know, Eli said. I know all of it. I'm not asking you to force him. I'm not asking you to make him forgive me. He opened his eyes. I'm asking you to find him. And tell him his father is dying and his father is sorry. What he does with that, he exhaled. That's his. The rabbi looked at him for a long moment. Then he stood up. Rest, he said. I'll come back. He came back 3 days later. Eli heard the door before he saw anything, heard it open, heard more than one set of footsteps, heard Benjamin's voice saying something low and urgent in the other room, and then the doorway filled. Joash was 54 years old. He was heavier than Eli remembered. Gray in his beard. The pack was gone, but the set of his shoulders was the same brace, the same readiness for impact that Eli had watched him develop as a boy and had told himself was strength, and only now understood was armor. He stood in the doorway and looked at his father in the bed. His face was doing several things at once, none of them simple. Eli looked at his son. His firstborn. 54 years old, and still, under all of it, the boy who used to fall asleep in the field with his head on Eli's knee while Eli watched the flock and the stars came out one by one. You came, Eli said. He found me, Joash said. His voice was careful. Controlled. The voice of a man who has decided how much he is willing to feel and is holding the line. He said you were dying. I am. Joash nodded. Didn't move from the doorway. He said you wanted to tell me something. Yes. A long silence. Then tell me, Joash said. And under the control, under the careful flatness, something else, something that had been waiting 23 years and was terrified of being disappointed again and was here anyway, in this doorway, because some part of a man never stops being his father's son no matter how far he walks or how long he stays away. Eli pushed himself up in the bed. His arms shook. He didn't ask for help. He looked at his firstborn and he said, not the rehearsed version, not the careful version, but the true one, the one that had been sitting in his chest for 23 years like a coal. I never told you that you were enough. Joash went very still. You were always enough, Eli said. You were more than enough. You were, Joash, you were the first thing I ever made that I was proud of, and I spent 40 years never saying it because my father never said it to me and I thought that was what strength looked like. His voice broke and he did not stop. It was not strength. It was cowardice. I was a coward and you paid for it, and then you left and I told myself you would come back and you didn't, and every year that passed I understood more clearly that I had no one to blame but myself. He held his son's gaze. He did not look away. I am sorry. I am sorry for every word I said that I should not have said and every word I did not say that I should have. I am sorry it took me this long. I am sorry you had to leave to survive me. The room was very quiet. Joash had not moved. His face had stopped doing the controlled thing. It was just his face, now 54 years old, gray-bearded, standing in his dying father's doorway with everything he had carried since a Tuesday 23 years ago visible on it, all of it, every year. "I needed you to say that," Joash said. His voice was not controlled anymore. "I know," Eli said. "I should have said it 40 years ago." "Yes. I know." Joash crossed the room. He sat down beside his father's bed beside him, not across, the same way the rabbi had sat, the same way Benjamin sat every morning, and he put his face in his hands and he wept. Not gently, the way a man weeps when something that has been damned for 23 years finally finds the crack completely, without dignity, without performance, the tears of a boy who grew up and left home and spent 2 decades pretending he didn't still want his father to say he was enough. Eli put his hand on his son's back. His hand was shaking. He kept it there. The rabbi was waiting outside. Benjamin found him sitting on the low wall by the gate, looking at the road, and sat beside him. "How did you find him?" Benjamin asked. "I looked," the rabbi said. "That's not an answer." The rabbi smiled slightly. "He wasn't far. He never was." He looked at the house. He had a farm 2 days' walk from here. He had a wife and 3 children who had never met their grandfather. He paused. He drove past this village twice a year on the way to market. He always took the long road around. Benjamin absorbed this. "He was that close," Benjamin said. "Yes. All this time?" "Yes." Benjamin looked at the house. At the window where, faintly, he could hear his brother weeping and his father's voice, low and steady, saying something he couldn't make out. "What did you say to him?" Benjamin asked. "When you found him? What did you say that made him come?" The rabbi was quiet for a moment. "I told him his father was dying," he said. "And I told him that his father had asked me to find him, not to demand anything, not to ask for anything, just to say he was sorry." He looked at the road. "And then I told him something else." "What?" "I told him that forgiveness is not a gift you give the other person," the rabbi said. "It is a weight you put down. And I told him he had been carrying it for 23 years and he was tired." He paused. "And he was. I could see it. He was so tired." Benjamin said nothing. Inside the house, the weeping had quieted. What replaced it was something that had no name, not silence exactly, but the specific quality of air in a room where something broken has been, carefully and imperfectly and at great cost, set back together. Not fixed. Set back together. Which is different. Which is, sometimes, enough. Eli died 11 days later. Joash was there. He held his father's hand at the end, the way Eli had held his when he was small and afraid of the dark, and Eli looked at his firstborn's face, the last thing he looked at, and whatever was left of the coal in his chest was gone. Just gone. Replaced by something lighter and older. Something that felt, in the last moments, like a field at dawn before the flock wakes up and the stars are still out and the world hasn't started yet. Like the silence he used to talk to God in. Like coming home. They will tell stories about the miracles. The water. The wine. The dead who walked. They will not tell the story of an old man. And his firstborn son. And 11 days. But here is what I know, the hardest miracle is not raising the dead. It is getting 2 people who love each other, and have hurt each other, into the same room, before it is too late. He did that. Quietly. Without ceremony. On a road 2 days' walk from here. He found a tired man, and told him he could put the weight down. And the man did. That is the miracle. That is always the miracle.